if I may, another question.
Sure.
You mentioned your pro-choice when it comes to schools. How practically do you see the application? What kind of application you make it choice-driven when it comes to schools, choosing your school? How can you do that?
Well, I think you have to do it two ways, by providing the options and making sure the options are available in the neighborhoods, but also educating the parents about the high quality schools that are in the city currently. So you have the parents have to have an awareness of it, as well as they have to be sort of convenient to neighborhoods that need it the most.
So it doesn't involve blurring the school district boundaries. Basically, in one district you can send your children to another district school. It's not like that. Or is it just still in your district, but somewhere?
Yes, still within the district. Because I would say that while I'm not sort of opposed to that, the current statute sort of has its limitations with regard to each school district.
I have a question about the problem. Like you said it's possible to get 90 million if we can tax not only gambling, right? Just lottery.
It's a lottery. Yeah.
Just lottery itself is not for 90 million. Is it possible to change the the REACH program just a little bit to make it focus like, is it specific for the districts where there's a certain amount of truancy, where students are missing, most of them. So this program is mostly linked to those areas. Like in Philadelphia, in the center of Philadelphia, the truancy rate is about 60% or more sometimes. Like I think students who are missing more than 8 times a year without any excuse is more than 60% in certain regions. Is it possible to focus this program directly on those areas? Is that the way?
It's possible, but it's not practical. And while it is possible to write that into the bill, the practicality of it sort of you could add that, but it'd be sort of addition through subtraction. And at the end of the day, I need to get 102, 26, and 1. There's 203 people in the General Assembly, so I have 202 colleagues. To do that, I don't know how that would play out in terms of the math relative to getting it passed. And then I need 26 votes in the Senate and the governor's signature. So, while I think the governor may sign it, if that had it in it, I don't know what that would do to some of my colleagues who represent districts that are a bit different than Philadelphia, because people tend to vote not necessarily with the bigger picture in mind, but more so very district specific.
Is only Philadelphia like this, or there are other cities like Pittsburgh or similar?
No, there are many other cities. I mean, you got Reading, you got Lancaster, you got even some places in rural Pennsylvania where there's a lot of places with local public schools. A lot of places with local public schools.
So there's still chance for getting that.
Yeah. So I don't know what that would do to the math off the top of my head. So the best approach is sort of not to automatically exclude anybody. So in terms of voting, my preference would be as many as possible, and those sorts of targeted things can be administrative would be the best way.
We will talk about how with hope is like the starting point, the building block, where you do a couple other things like that.
This is actually my focus is clearly on the population that you talked about. With getting this sort of into statute, it would be sort of the first, I wouldn't say the first, but it would be sort of an opportunity to add some innovation to what we currently do. And, hopefully that would open the door to do other innovative things to focus on truancy and other things, other initiatives that would be directed at students where they aren't achieving.
You started out to describing the problem by, education not being equal between whites and African Americans and others. And then you went into a measurement section phase where you kind of gave a percentage statistic between like 74% versus I believe less than 50%. And then you went into analyze stage where you tried to find out the root cause of this discrepancy. And then you went to the schools and you talked to the students just to see how many of them would like to go to, higher education, either college or whatever. And then you said that all of them said they want to go, but actually not all of them will be able to go there because of the financial burden.
Yeah, it's not just it's not just the financial burden. Some of them, unfortunately don't have the proper family supports in place.
I guess my question is that you're going to be providing some kind of improvement or solution to that problem by providing government funds, help, financial help. So how many percent of those people that you think you will be targeted or you will be providing help, financial help of those people?
All right, so just so I make sure I understand, your question is the folks that are currently haven't figured out how to get there.
Right.
To simplify, the people currently without a roadmap, how many people would this affect?
How many people you will be able to target with your help, like you will be able to get funding, a scholarship?
Well,
will you be able to help all of them, or
the way that we've rewritten it is it would probably be close to about 15,000 a year as the pilot program. But if we're able to scale the pilot up to what we originally intended, it would be roughly about 50,000.
So does it hit the 100% that target?
No.
Or is it like
It's
50%?
we have, where are those numbers? I think you have like 138,000 students graduate each year.
Okay.
And of that 138,000, what was the percentage that would go to college?
Of the ones that they graduate?
Yeah.
Overall, it's around 70%.
Yeah, about 70% of that 138,000 end up going to college. This is the current snapshot.
I think your question is more about, okay, so of the folks, of all the people that are going to go to college, 50% minorities, how many of the minorities are actually going to benefit from the Green Scholarship, right?
Yeah.
So we know that it's actually like it's 15,000 at full ramp up, so it's about 4,000, 5,000 at first.
Yeah.
So it's like 5,000 scholarships every single year, and the whole point of this is that it's an equalizer. So anyone receiving those criteria would actually benefit. So the numbers are still kind of working out exactly how many minorities that would be, but it would be. We have to look at the graduation rate, and we're expecting.
There's some other intangible things that you wouldn't be able to measure. If we are able to market this thing really aggressively in some of the communities I serve, what would that do to achievement? Folks that may currently just be sort of coasting by.